Good morning, welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. Today we're doing Maseches Eiruvin, Perek Gimel, Mishnayos Hey and Vav. Mishnah Hey says, Masna Adam Ele Ruvo, Omer Im Bo Goyim Min HaMizrach Eiruvin Lamarav. Now, this is talking about a case where the person is not sure where he wants to extend his limits. He wants to travel more than 2,000 amos outside the city, but he's not sure which direction. And the Gemara, the Mishnah gives two different types of cases. Let's say there's an army coming into town, so he wants to run away from the army. So he puts two Eiruvs, one on each opposite side of the city. One 2,000 amos from the west, one 2,000 amos from the east. Right? So im Bao Goyim, and he makes a stipulation before Ben Hashmashos. If the Goyim come in on Mizrach, the eastern side, Eiruvin Lamarav, I want to have 4,000 amos to the western side. Min Amarav, if they come from the west side on Shabbos, he doesn't know what's going to come from on Shabbos. Eiruvin Mizrach, I want to be able to go to the eastern side. In Bao Mikan, if they end up coming from both sides, then I want to have the option. He says this to go whichever where 4,000 amos where I feel I need to. Lo Bao Mikan, the army doesn't come. Hareini Kibnei. I don't want the Eruv to take effect. I want to have 2,000 amos in each direction. Similarly, in Ba Chacham Min HaMizrach, right? He wants to hear a big rabbi is coming, but he doesn't know where he's coming from. The rabbi, like Shmuel Silver, who's in the background over here, a big rabbi like Shmuel Silver is coming to your town. Sadik Baal Ir.
And he wants to go the other way.
No, that's talking about the Goyim. You're a Jew. You're a Jew.
If I come, he wants to get out of the town.
So let's take a case like Shmuel, right? Shmuel is coming to your town. You're not sure if you want Shmuel to come to run away from Shmuel or to come. You're not sure if you're gonna like Shmuel.
Hello, everybody.
It's impossible not to like Shmuel. Shmuel's a nice guy. All right. If the Chacham comes from Mizrach, Eiruvin Mizrach. If the Talmud Chacham comes from the east, I want my Eruv to go to the east. I can go 4,000 amos to go. Right, he's going to be in the wilderness giving a shir. He doesn't come into the city. It's too much kashmiris. So I want to go to the wilderness outside the city limits to go hear him speak. Bin Amarav, Eiruvin Amarav. He's coming from the west. I don't know which side he's coming from. I want to go to the west. Baal Lakan. If two rabbis are coming, one's coming from each side. I want to be able to choose on Shabbos. Lo Lakan, the Chacham doesn't end up coming. He's not going to end up coming on Shabbos. Hareini Kibnei. I want no Eruv to take effect. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. So you can make this tonight. It works stipulation. And the Rav Bartanura explains this is a concept of Breira, right? At the onset of Shabbos, on Shki on Friday night, that's when your Eruv takes effect, right? And we don't find out until Shabbos which side the army comes or which side the rabbi comes from. We don't know where he's going to come from, but Breira, Hufra Adar Mafreya, we say Breira, when it happens on Shabbos, clarifies which Eruv you wanted to take effect. There's a problem. We'll talk about it in Mitzvah because Eruv Tumen is our rice. And usually we say, Ain prayer me the rice. If the Rabbanim hold of prayer, the rice, we don't hold of prayer. Rebuta Omer, Maya Echan and Rabo, Holy Chatzarabba. Rebuta says a caveat that if one of them, there's two rabbis coming, and one of them was your rabbi, your personal rabbi, so then you can't say, you didn't know which rabbis were coming, so you can't say, I want to go to the other rabbi, because presumably you wanted to go to your rabbi. Mayushneim Rabbo said, both of them are your rabbi, the Makam Shir said, yeah, they can go to either one. Vav, Rabbi Lezer Omer, Yom Tov Hasamach LeShabbos. Lezer says, Yom Tov that falls out either before Shabbos, on Friday, or on Sunday, right? Whether on Friday or Sunday. Ma'ariv Adam Shnei Eiruvin. This Mishnah centers on the topic of whether Yom Tov and Shabbos are they considered Kedusha Achas, like one long day of Kedusha, or are they considered two separate Kedushas. And Afkamina, in terms of, right, you can't make an Eruv, you need an Eruv both for Yom Tov and Shabbos. This sort of Tumen applies on Yom Tov and Shabbos equally. So therefore, according to Rabbi Lezer, Ma'arav Adam Shnei Eiruvin, he holds there are two different Kedushos. So you want one to be in, right, you want to go in one direction on Shabbos and one direction on Yom Tov. So you put two different Eruv. Omer, Eruv Arishon LeMizrach. The first one, let's say Yom Tov falls on Friday. For Yom Tov on Friday, I want to go to the east. V'asheni LeMarav. And on Shabbos, I want to go to the west. Harishon LeMarav, V'asheni LeMizrach. Right? Or he says the first one is the Marav, just a different way of saying it. The Sheni, and the second day is the Mizrach. Eruve Arishon Asheni Kivnei Iri. Eruve Asheni Arishon, or he says Eruve Harishon. The Eruv on the first day, I want it to be an Eruv to go in whatever direction I want. Asheni Kivnei Iri, and the second day, I don't want an Eruv. I don't want to use the Eruv. Eruve Asheni, or I want my Eruv to take a second. The second on Shabbos, Arishon Kivnei Iri. On Yom Tov on Friday, I want to have a regular 2,000 amos to the east side of the city. If a Chama Omrim, you could do this. Chama said, Eliezer says you could do this. A Chama Omrim, the Chama arguing Eliezer. Ma'ariv l'ruach achas oinam erev kol ikar. We're going to see Chama are mesupok. They're not sure whether Yom Tov and Shabbos are kedusha achas, one long day of kedusha, or they're two kedushos. So therefore, you have a lot of chumras to do. Ma'ariv l'ruach achas. All you could do is put your eruv in one direction, to the east or the west, before Yom Tov or Shabbos. Let's say Yom Tov falls on a Friday for simplicity's sake, and Shabbos the next day. And you can use that eruv for both Yom Tov and Shabbos. Basically, it's a repetition. If you want to use the eruv, you have to use it for both days, which means that even though you only wanted to use the eruv for Friday, you have to use it for Shabbos also. Being on Shabbos, you can't walk anywhere outside of the city limits to the eastern side if you put it to the western side. Ketzad Yasa. What should you do? Molicha Barisham, because you have to make sure, according to the Chamim, besides the fact that it's Kedusha Achas, they're also Mesubak whether Shtei Kedushos, and therefore you have to make sure that it's still there the second day. According to the Chamim, right, if you just held it as one Kedusha, Yom Tov and Shabbos, so as long as it's there on Thursday night, Ben Hashmashos, right, so therefore, if it's Kedusha Achas, one long day of Kedusha, that's okay, even if it gets eaten or taken away Thursday after Shkia, it's fine. But since they hold it might be Shtei Kedusha, so therefore you have another problem. You need it to be there Friday night also. So Kate said, Yasam Alicha Rishon, you bring it on the first day before Shkia, Umach Shechalav, and you stay there. Umach Shechalav. And you stay there to make sure that at Shkia, it's still there on Shkia. Avanotlo, Ubalo, and then you take it home. You don't want it to get eaten, or because you need to do it the second day. On the second day, you bring it again. And there's only talking about where Yom the second day is. The second day is Shabbos. The first day is Yom Tov, so you can carry it because you can't do hotzah with food on Shabbos, only on Yom Tov because of Ochel Nefesh. Then on Sheni you put it there at Shkia, and you eat it. You have to go in both days. That's why you get to eat it also. However, let's say you only put it the first day and it gets eaten the first day. It only works for one day because it's not there the second day. At least admit to me that there's Shtei Kedushos, right? Meaning, it seems like you admit to me as Shtei Kedushos if you have to make sure it's there both days. So you're more than a Shtei Kedushos, so therefore you can do like Eiruvin says and make a Tanai stipulation. One day it works on this side, and one day the Eruv works on the second side. The Chachamim say no. The Chachamim really don't answer him, but the Chachamim really say, like the Mefarshim explain, that we're not sure if it's Kedusha Achas or Shtei Kedushos, but halachically, passing the Eiruvin is considered Shtei Kedushos. So therefore, definitively, you can make a Tanai, you can make a stipulation, and have one day your Eruv work for the east, and one day your Eruv work for the west. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Iyam Mitzion, where we discuss the concept of Breira in Mishnah Hey.